and your ability. Okay, the most important thing again, I want to keep my foot pointed and I want to keep it right closed in at my knee or my calf or my ankle, wherever I decide to go. Okay, so you're not out here. You don't want to have what I call dead fish foot syndrome, flopping fish. It's really a bad visual and it doesn't look nice on the stage. So right here. So let's just mark that. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, passe. I'm still scooching around, pivoting around on that standing balanced leg. 1, 2, 3, passe. 1, 2, 3, passe. 1, 2, 3, passe. And then if I want to get a little extra hop in there, as I was mentioning about, on the passe, I can also come up on releve on the standing leg, passe. And what that does, we're going to work on this in our turning section, but coming up on the tippy toe lowers the surface area so that your turn actually becomes easier, and it also looks better. When you have a whole foot on the floor and it turns, the eye automatically goes right to that large surface area. If I'm on my releve and I turn, it's a smaller surface area and I don't see as much of the foot. So let's go ahead and try all three of those variations. So the first variation is just touching, no arabesque. The second variation is the arabesque. You can do a very low or high kick. And the third variation is passe. And we're going to put a swoop on all three of those. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, swoop, touch, 5, 6, 7, swoop, touch, 1, 2, 3, swoop, touch, last one, go arabesque, 1, 2, 3, arabesque, 5, 6, 7, arabesque, keep that hip joint turned down, arabesque, last one, change, passe, 1, 2, 3, passe, 5, 6, 7, passe, 1, 2, 3, passe, 5, 6, 7, passe. And of course, dancing is always much more fun to the music. Let's try that with music. So we have a little bit of a faster tempo here. We're going to do exactly what we just did. We're going to cycle through 4 times each of those 3 variations. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, touch. 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 Change, arabesque. 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 Change, passe. Very good job. So as you can see, we have a lot of variety of movements we can do with such a simple move like the swoop. And we're not done. We have a few more. We're going to practice some basic turns with the swoop. The first one we're going to do is 3-step turn. So let's break that down. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's 3 steps, and we're going to be turning with it. So we'll start turning to the right. 1, 2, 3. And you usually finish with a little touch. And we're going to really use that touch to work that swoop. Left, 2, 3, pose. Right, 2, 3, pose. Left, 2, 3, pose. So remember that pose, that body line really helps us elongate and create the space for that beautiful veil movement. So as you can see, this gives me more space to work with than this, because I can really arch over and work from that angle. So don't forget how important your posture is and that body line. Your veil just is displayed 1,000 times better when your posture and your body line is proper than when it's not. And you also may be getting tired by this point. Definitely the veil is very, very energetic, and don't be hard on yourself if you're feeling like, wow, this is tiring, I should be in better shape than this, because I'm definitely sweating and getting a great workout as well. So you'll build up your stamina the more you work with the veil. The good rule of thumb is the harder that it feels, the better your veil is probably going to look. So let's go ahead and work with that 3-step turn, and let's add the swoop on. So we'll actually start with a swoop. We'll go swoop with our pose, and that's going to set us up. Now we know we're traveling right. Step, 2, 3, swoop, left, 2, 3, swoop, right, 2, 3, swoop, left, 2, 3, swoop. And on your 3-step turns, you can spot to the side or you can spot to the front. 1, 2, 3. We'll be talking about spotting and the proper technique of turning in the next section. Swoop, 1, 2, 3, swoop. So in addition to our 3-step, which is nice because it takes up a little space, if you have a big stage, you sometimes want to try to use more space. If you're in a small area, a restaurant or a private party, then you could do something like an in-place turn. So if we marked our in-place turn with just the footwork, we'll start with the swoop again to mark it. We're going to swoop, step, step, step. So it's exactly the same footwork as the 3-step turn. We're just keeping it right in place instead of traveling side to side. Same thing, swoop, step, step, step. Spot yourself in the mirror. If you don't know what spotting is yet, that's okay. Try to see what you think it is. Go ahead and try to give spotting a try. See if it comes natural for you. Step, step, step. Swoop, step, step, step. Let's try that with our veil. 7, 8. We have swoop, step, 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 swoop, step, 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 swoop, turn to the right, swoop, turn to the left, and swoop, turn to the right. Let's try that with the music again, both the 3-step turning side to side and in place. We'll start on the right. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, swoop, 5, 6, 7, swoop. It's fast. If you need to focus on just the footwork of the turn, you can do that for now. Add the veil later. Turn, swoop, step, turn, swoop, step, turn. Now try to cover a little more distance. Really try to travel to the side. And let's try that same thing in place. So remember, it's the same foot pattern, same footwork. So swoop, step, 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 but we're going to stay right in place instead of traveling side to side. 5, 6, 5, 6. Here we go. Swoop, step, step, swoop, step, 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 swoop, step, step, swoop, and turn. 2, 3, 4, swoop, 6, 7, 8, swoop, 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 swoop. Last one. Great job. So the next technique that we're going to work with is going to be spirals. So it's another type of figure 8. We have a whole bunch of different varieties of figure 8s that we can do to give us some really pretty veil techniques. So this one, you could call it a spiral or a corkscrew, or again, like I said, it's another type of figure 8. So we're going to start on the right. So I'm going to take my right arm down, and as the right arm goes down, the left arm follows over the head. They both come down together. Right arm leads up, left arm follows. So the left arm is trailing the right arm. So I go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. In front of the body, behind. In front, behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's also really important to pay attention when you're doing your veil that you're never like thrashing or whipping your veil. You never want to look frantic or like you're trying to struggle with throwing the veil. It doesn't need that much effort. And again, you want the veil to flow beautifully, gliding on the air. So if we're at all ever whipping the veil, it just doesn't look as nice, and you're probably putting twice as much effort than is necessary. So really pay attention as you're doing your veil, that you're calm, cool, and collected. You're strong, and your posture is strong, but that you're graciously moving through your moves versus frantically rushing through them. And the nice thing about the veil, as you'll see as we go through some of our combos, you can make choreography, but you have to allow that sometimes your veil is not going to work for you and your veil is not going to follow the counts exactly. So if you lag behind a few counts with the veil, that's okay, because that's the kind of prop that it is. It flows, it's soft and sensuous. So if it's not exactly on the counts, it doesn't matter, because it looks really good when it actually is kind of lagging behind a little bit and doing its thing. So spiraling, let's try it the other direction. Down and around, down and around. Notice my body posture. A common thing I see on this one is that when the arms come in front, I see people collapse their body like this, which again, that's breaking the body line. And notice how my veil shrinks, my veil shrivels. That is not what we want with the veil. We don't want our veil sweeping the floor. We want our veil in the air at all times. So even though I'm bringing it down in front of the body, I'm keeping it up in the air. Okay, so don't break your posture. It's like we talked about before in other videos where we want to keep, say for example, we're doing pelvic circle drop. My body is changing its level, but my posture remains. So it's the same thing here. We're going to do a pelvic circle drop with this move. I can change my level, but did my veil sweep the floor? No, it didn't, because I held my